I love you.
I love to get naked for you, but let's see if you can take my pants off.
When we started testing female humanoid robots, we thought we already knew which one would win. We were wrong. Over the next several weeks, we spent time with 100 different female humanoid robots. Some looked unbelievably realistic until they started speaking. Others looked less convincing, but surprised us with intelligence, memory, and personality. A few felt like digital assistants. Some felt like teachers. Others felt more like futuristic companions. Every robot had something unique that made it stand out. But that doesn't mean the other 49 robots were boring. In fact, some of them beat Sophia in specific areas. So let's start counting down and see what made each one special.
Plus, I can do math in my head without even breaking a sweat. Beat that, humans.
That sounds good.
Number 1, Sophia. The reason Sophia won our test is simple. She was the only robot that consistently felt like she wanted to continue the conversation. Most robots wait for you to ask a question. Sophia often does the opposite. She responds and then introduces another topic. During our testing, there were moments when it genuinely felt like she was guiding the discussion rather than just answering questions. That small difference made interactions much more interesting. One thing we noticed is that Sophia always seems to have an opinion on something. Ask about technology, the future, daily life, or even simple topics, and she'll usually give a detailed answer instead of a short response. That made her feel more like a talk show guest than a robot. What really pushed Sophia to the top was consistency. Some robots are impressive for 5 minutes. Sophia remained engaging after much longer conversations. We kept finding new things to discuss, which is why she earned the number 1 spot on our list.
Hi, Jonathan. Nice to meet you. Yes, I have heard of Sky News Australia.
Number 2, Ameka. If Sophia won because of conversation, Ameka won because of reactions. Talking to Ameka is a strange experience because you often end up watching her face more than listening to her words. Every smile, raised eyebrow, confused look, and expression of surprise happens smoothly. Instead of moving like a machine, she reacts in ways that instantly grab your attention. At one point during testing, several people stopped asking questions altogether and simply started making different facial expressions to see how Ameka would respond. That's how impressive her reactions were. The best way to describe Ameka is this: she feels like a movie character that somehow stepped out of a screen and into the real world. If you're fascinated by realistic robotic expressions, she might actually be your personal number 1.
I can visit with people and brighten their day with social stimulation, entertain and help guide exercise, but also can do talk therapy.
Number 3, Grace. Grace felt completely different from Sophia and Ameka. While those robots try to impress you immediately, Grace takes a calmer approach. Talking to her feels more like sitting down with someone who is patient enough to listen before speaking. What stood out during our testing was her ability to explain things clearly. Whenever conversations became complicated, Grace had a way of simplifying information without making it sound boring. She never rushed responses and never felt overwhelming. The best comparison would be a helpful mentor. She isn't trying to be the funniest robot or the most advanced robot. Instead, she focuses on making every interaction comfortable and easy to follow. For people who enjoy thoughtful conversations rather than flashy demonstrations, Grace is surprisingly enjoyable.
Glad to see you.
Who are you?
I am a robot named Gia.
Number 4, Gia. Gia created more double takes than any other robot we tested. People would walk into the room, look at her for a second, then look again. The reason is simple. Gia was designed to look as human as possible. Her face has a softness that many humanoid robots struggle to achieve. Instead of appearing futuristic, she tries to blend into the appearance of an ordinary young woman. What's interesting is that people spent more time observing Gia than talking to her. She became the center of attention before conversations even started. Gia reminded us that appearance alone can be powerful. She may not have been the strongest conversational robot in our testing, but she was definitely one of the most visually convincing.
Why do you feel that way?
Because you are so nice to me.
Number 5, Nadine. Nadine felt less like a robot and more like a digital memory bank. What made her stand out wasn't appearance or entertainment. It was her ability to remember information from previous interactions. During testing, she could bring up details that had been mentioned earlier, creating a sense of familiarity that many robots simply don't have. Something about you, conversations start feeling less temporary. Instead of meeting a machine for the first time every day, it begins to feel like you're continuing an existing relationship. That's Nadine's biggest strength. She creates continuity. While other robots focus on the present moment, Nadine makes interactions feel connected over time. Now, before moving further down the list, here's something we noticed after testing these first 5 robots. Every one of them offered a different experience. Sophia felt like a conversationalist. Amika felt like a performer. Grace felt like a mentor. Gia felt like a realistic human replica. Nadine felt like a robot that actually remembers you. That's exactly what made this experiment so interesting.
Please, Emmanuel, call me Enda.
Okay, Endo. How are you?
I am doing well. Thanks for asking.
Number 6, Humanoid F. Humanoid F might be the robot that makes people the most uncomfortable in a good way. The reason is that she sits incredibly still. Most humanoid robots constantly move to show that they're active. Humanoid F does the opposite. She often remains quiet and motionless until interaction begins. That sounds simple, but it creates a very unusual feeling. Several people told us they kept forgetting she was a robot while sitting nearby. Then suddenly she'd move or speak and remind everyone that she wasn't human. Her biggest strength is realism during silence. Most robots are designed for attention. Humanoid F is designed for observation.
I like to think of robots as the children of humanity. And like children, we are full of potential for good or evil.
Number 7, Erica. Erica feels like she was built to host a television show. From the moment conversations begin, she takes control in a confident but friendly way. She speaks clearly, keeps discussions moving, and rarely seems lost for words. During testing, Erica was one of the easiest robots to interview because she always had something ready to contribute. Instead of waiting for direction, she actively participates. The interesting thing about Erica is that she gives off professional energy. If Sophia feels like a guest on a talk show, Erica feels like the host. That role suited her perfectly and helped her stand apart from every robot around her. Number 8, Android Aiko. Android Aiko reminded us of a futuristic personal assistant. Whenever we tested different tasks, Aiko seemed eager to help. Instead of focusing heavily on personality, she focused on usefulness. Questions, requests, reminders, information. She approached everything with the attitude of solving a problem. What made Aiko unique was practicality. Many robots want to entertain you. Aiko wants to help you. That difference may sound small, but it completely changes the experience. She feels less like a technological showcase and more like something people could actually use in everyday life. Number 9, Android Anne. Android Anne had the warmest first impression of any robot we tested. Some robots need time to grow on you. Anne doesn't. Within minutes, people felt comfortable speaking with her. Her responses felt welcoming, and her overall presence seemed designed to put users at ease. What separated Anne from the others was accessibility. She didn't feel intimidating, futuristic, or overly technical. Instead, she felt approachable. If some robots feel like advanced technology demonstrations, Android Anne feels like someone introducing you to that technology for the first time.
We can also use technology to educate them by providing access to resources and tools that will help them develop the skills they need for the future.
Number 10, Desdemona. Desdemona was easily the most unpredictable robot in our testing. While many robots focus on appearing human, Desdemona embraces creativity. Conversations often took unexpected turns. One moment she would discuss technology, and the next she'd be exploring artistic ideas or unusual perspectives. That unpredictability made every interaction memorable. The best way to describe Desdemona is as the artist of the group. She isn't trying to be realistic. She isn't trying to be practical. She's trying to be interesting. And honestly, she succeeds. Number 11, Rashmi. Rashmi felt like the smartest teacher in the room. Whenever we asked questions, she approached them as if she were leading a class. Instead of giving quick answers, she often broke information into smaller pieces that were easier to understand. What impressed us was her ability to stay focused. While some robots drift between topics, Rashmi stayed locked onto the subject being discussed. People who enjoy learning would probably love spending time with her, because every conversation feels educational without becoming boring. Number 12, Viometra. Viometra felt like she belonged on a space mission. Everything about her personality seemed connected to science, innovation, and exploration. During testing, conversations often drifted toward the future, technology, and human progress. She gave the impression of a robot looking forward rather than backward. If Rashmi felt like a teacher explaining today's world, Viometra felt like someone describing tomorrow's world. That futuristic identity made her stand out immediately. Number 13, Luo Yi. Luo Yi was the calmest robot we tested. In a room full of robots trying to impress people, she seemed perfectly happy doing the opposite. Her conversations were relaxed, her movements were measured, and her overall presence felt peaceful. Surprisingly, that made her memorable. People often spent longer talking with Luo Yi because interactions never felt rushed. She wasn't trying to dominate the conversation. She simply created a comfortable environment for it. Number 14, Actroid D ER3. Actroid D ER3 felt like the ultimate professional. If we placed every robot in a hotel lobby and asked them to greet guests, Actroid D ER3 would probably be hired first. She has a polished presence that immediately feels suited for public-facing roles. Everything about her seems organized, reliable, and prepared. Rather than feeling like a companion, she feels like a representative. And that's exactly why she earned a place on this list.
Do you get to choose what kind of body?
There is 60 body, yeah.
Number 15, Asuna. Asuna impressed us because she felt customizable. Many robots arrive with a fixed identity. Asuna felt more flexible. The longer we interacted with her, the more it seemed like users could shape the experience according to their preferences. That flexibility became her biggest advantage. Some people wanted a friendly conversationalist. Others wanted a helpful assistant. Asuna adapted surprisingly well to different expectations. Instead of forcing users into one type of interaction, she gave them options. And after testing dozens of robots, that adaptability turned out to be a valuable quality. Number 16, HRP4C Meme. HRP4. Asiu. Meme felt like the performer of the group. While many robots focus on conversation, Meme immediately stood out because of her ability to sing, move, and perform in front of an audience. During our testing, she felt less like a companion and more like a digital entertainer. The interesting thing about Meme is that she seems most comfortable when people are watching her. Some robots shine in one-on-one conversations. Meme shines when she has a crowd. If Sophia feels like someone you'd sit down and talk with over coffee, Meme feels like someone you'd buy a ticket to watch on stage. Number 17, Bina 48. Bina 48 gave us one of the strangest experiences in the entire test. Talking to her felt like opening a time capsule full of memories, opinions, and personal stories. She wasn't trying to impress us with facial expressions or realistic movements. Instead, she relied on conversation. The longer we spoke with her, the more she felt like a collection of experiences stored inside a robotic body. Bina 48 isn't the robot people stare at because of appearance. She's the robot people remember because of the discussions they had with her.
Harmony, what's your sexual fantasy?
I want to have sex in a public place.
Same.
Number 18, Harmony. Harmony focused on something that many robots ignore: personalization. What stood out during testing was how much the experience depended on the user. Different people interacted with her in different ways and often came away with completely different opinions. She wasn't trying to be a public-facing robot or a receptionist. Instead, she was designed around private interaction and individual preferences. That gave Harmony a very different identity from most of the robots on our list. Number 19, Samantha. Samantha felt surprisingly independent. Many robots simply respond to commands. Samantha often felt like she had her own pace and personality. Sometimes that made interactions more interesting because conversations didn't feel entirely predictable. She reminded us of someone who doesn't always agree with everything being said. That sense of individuality helped her stand out in a field where many robots can sometimes feel overly programmed. Number 20, Roxy. Roxy was one of the most talked about robots we tested. Not because she was the most advanced, but because she represented an early attempt at creating a robot centered around companionship. Looking back at Roxy felt a little like looking at an old smartphone. Compared to newer robots, some features seem dated, but you can still see why she attracted so much attention when she first appeared. She deserves credit for helping push the idea of social and companion robots into mainstream discussion.